Bushfires are a part of Australian life, but the devastating Black Saturday fires of 2009 deeply affected us all. 4 years on, and communities are still healing. Here's John in Toolangi to find out how plants are helping.
This is the township of Toolangi. It's about an hour and a half's drive to the northeast of Melbourne and was once the home of the poet C.J. Dennis. On Black Saturday in 2009, it and the neighbouring small town of Castella were devastated by the bushfires that raged through the mountain ash forests of the Kinglake Ranges. But as the bush regenerates, I've come to see a very special garden that brings a new start and new life to the town. The Toolangi and Castella Community Garden was designed on this old tennis court by local resident Tabitha Barclay.
The garden was created after the Black Saturday fires from some funding that we applied for, and it was seen as one of those things for the community that was going to be very healing and aid in our recovery from being affected by the fires. I'd say particularly the men of the community have really embraced it.
Why has that been important?
Well, it's sort of a bit like a men's shed, I guess. People have got together and they've had a chat and, you know, it's given an outlet for healing.
You don't allow weeds to grow here, do you?
No, we don't. No, this is flecked sedge, which is an indigenous plant.
So this isn't the one I'm used to pulling out in my own garden?
Not umbrella sedge. No, definitely not.
Thank
no,
goodness,
no.
I was about to...
No, absolutely not.
So the materials that you've used in here, I mean, I noticed we're walking on a gravel path.
Yep.
Is this left over from the tennis court that used to be here?
It's not. It was an on-car tennis court, which was a similar colour, but the Castella toppings that we've used are just sourced locally from the quarry up the road.
What about this?
That's our old tennis court fence.
It's a great reuse.
Upcycled
Yeah.
into a pergola, so...
And it works really neatly for these beans, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's a perfect
it should
way
be
to
great.
use them.
Yeah.
Many local residents have been involved in creating this garden. WALHOUT built much of the furniture out of recycled timber.
I helped them to construct the garden beds, and we got it all from recyclable timber, and also those benches.
So this seat we're on, Jack, this would have been salvaged from the bush?
Yes, it is. It's out of an old mashmade tree, and it's solid, as you can see, and you can try to lift it, but it's a bit heavy.
Must give you a lot of personal satisfaction to have been involved.
Yes, and when you walk in here, it sort of gives you a nice and relaxed feeling, and it's beautiful to sit down here and sort of relax.
We've used a lot of native plants as well as indigenous plants in this area at the entrance to the garden, and we also have used some bush foods in keeping with the production sort of theme. This is the mountain pepper, this one. It's a local species that gets a berry on it, which is much like a peppercorn. It's quite spicy actually, you could use the leaves as well. Did you want to taste one?
I'd love to taste one. So you just chew it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it really tastes like pepper. It's really spicy. Now, I understand this plant is almost a symbol of the regeneration of the town itself after the bushfires.
Yeah, look, it is. It's a roundleaf pomaderus, which is Pomaderus vaccinifolia. Before the fires, it was quite rare in the area and still is geographically rare in Victoria. It's the only place that it occurs on these ranges. But after the fires, it's flourished.
I love the fact that there are no individual plots here. Instead, the garden is truly communal.
It's been a labour of love to come down here and roll the boulders around and pull the trees out of the middle of the old tennis court and getting to know the people that you're working with in the community.
We usually do watering and weeding and pruning, basically everything. Yeah.
Now, you're the maker of the compost here in the garden.
Yep, it's a biodynamic compost, but the only difference really is that we use herbal preparations. It's really done the job. You see the vegetables have usually higher nutrients, and well, that just tastes better.
That's great. Steve, you've been involved in the garden from the very beginning. What does it mean to you?
Oh, it's a very special place for bringing our community together. offering opportunities for community to share their learning and just to participate.
Originally, people were probably a bit sceptical that you could do anything with this old tennis court, and now it seems to have made a hub with the community house, the hall and the playground. It's made a central place to come to.
Excellent.
Isn't it wonderful that the simple act of growing and nurturing plants can have such a real benefit for the community of Toolangi? And it's really very fitting that a poem by C.J. Dennis should be written on the plaque at the entrance to the garden. Sowing things and growing things and watching of them grow. That's the game, my father said, and father ought to know. Setting things and getting things to grow for folks to eat. That's the life, my father said. That's very hard to beat.